So my last couple of videos were about building the life that you want so that you can cope with the challenges of the present and have a better present by not being grounded to a past that holds you back, but, moving towards something, the future you want. And I was thinking about this a bit for two reasons. One, I was at dinner with a good friend today, and we were just talking really in depth, really detailed and deep conversations about our lives. And, it was a very intimate conversation, not in any kind of romantic way. She and I were just really kind of getting into things about our feelings and our lives. And, we talked a lot about, what we want out of things in life. And, it's good to have friends like that where you can really connect and talk about these things and just hear them out, give them advice, have them hear you out and give you advice, and really, help you process things. If you don't have somebody like that in your life, get them. Get as many of them as you can. It is good to have multiple sounding boards, people who will give you good advice, people who have different experiences. So when we get done with dinner, I take her out, take her back to her car or the coffee shop where we met. Then I go have a cup of coffee, run into another friend, and I say hey, and I leave, and then I am in the car and listening to some music, and this Candlebox song comes on. And now, what really got me thinking about that was, it's funny, but this old high school crush. Nothing ever really happened with us. We were in the same friend group, so, there were some moments of flirtation, some goofy stuff, but nothing really transpired. We just had this long crush with her. I remember I always thought she was going places. She was a much better student than me. She seemed more driven. She had her shit together in ways that I didn't, and I remembered she'd gotten what was basically like kind of a dream job, not like a dream career, but like a dream job out of high school, like towards our last year of high school. And, I left town and went off and did a few things for a few years, and I came back to my hometown and ran into her, and she was still at that job. And I said hey, and caught up with her a little bit, and she was relatively happy with her life, but a bit unsatisfied, and was working towards a career that she wanted, and it was in a related field to that job, but much further down the path, different, right? It was going to be something with animals, and I was like, good for you, congratulations, I hope you succeed. And we talked a little bit, and I come back a couple more years later. She's still at that job. She's a little less satisfied with her life, and that career path had gotten derailed for some reason, but she was going to do something else. And we were talking about, her life and, some things that had gone wrong in it. She seemed really kind of focused on those things. And then I come back several more years later, and she's still in the same spot. She's gotten a couple promotions, but making way less than she should, and she's not happy with her life, and she's never really gotten out of the city that we're from, and just kind of seemed stuck. And then I thought about myself and how I was stuck in my own ways. Like, I'd left town, and I moved on to another state, and I moved on to another state, and I traveled around the country, and I traveled outside of the country a little bit, and I got these blessed opportunities, these great experiences, a lot of it taking complete risks that sometimes didn't even really pay off. I mean, I didn't have money, I didn't have plans, I didn't have goals. I was just off to the next thing. And what I realized was that a lot of the time I was just kind of running. I wasn't actually running towards something. I was running from something. And what I never did in any of these cases was take stock of what I did have, the community I had, the advantages that I had, the tools at my disposal, the people at my disposal, the support network that I had right where I was at any given time. I was just looking for the next place because I wasn't satisfied with my present, and I was trying to get away from the past. And I was always trying to get away from the past and moving towards a stuck present. Even though it was a different environment, it was a different place, I was stuck. And it's because I had let these conclusions about my past hold me back from turning my present into the future that I want and having a better present because I was working towards that future. And it wasn't until I started building something in this last move. I'd actually started working on building a community, building a business, building a name for myself, and really grinding out an idea of what I wanted my future to look like. I'm still a work in progress. I still have things holding me back. I still have trauma. I still have things I'm in therapy for. I still have issues with relationships. I still have all of these things. You know, I'm just like you. I get lonely. I get sad. I get angry. I get anxious. I get afraid. I let things hold me back. I procrastinate. I make all those same mistakes because I'm fucking human. And you're human. We're going to make these mistakes. But my life is greatly improved by thinking about the future and working towards it over running away from a past or trying just to get into a new situation, because a new environment will fix me. New people will fix me. New places will fix me. New job will fix me. New relationship will fix me. None of that fixes you. What fixes you is when you do have a relationship and you're happy with it for the most part, but you're not satisfied with yourself, working on making yourself satisfied. If you do have a good job that you enjoyed, but now you don't, why? Working on it, working towards that. But also building the future that you want and taking those steps. Don't let things hold you back. And listen to more Candlebox. I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments.